In Escape from Tarkov, hideout skills are the only two skills that give you more money. They do this in a couple of ways. First, by decreasing the consumption of fuel and filters. 2, by decreasing crafting times. And 3, by increasing the bonuses you receive from your hideout. And leveling them up isn't hard, but maxing them out can be quite the grind. In this video, we're going to go through both of them, explain what they are, what their bonuses are, and how to level them up the fastest. For crafting, as you level it up, you get 0.75% reduction in crafting time per level. So that means when you max it out, it's 37.5% faster to craft items. That's a big reduction on long items, things like cases or anything in the Intel Center. At level 51, the max skill also allows you to craft 2 items at once in the Workbench, Lavatory, Nutrition Unit, Med Station, and Intel Center. To level crafting, you simply have to craft. For each 8 hours of crafting, you receive 1 skill point. This is cumulative across all of the modules. So if you have 4 different crafts going and they're all 2 hours, that right there is equal to 1 point. You also get a bonus point for each craft you finish when you collect it. Caveat here is though is you have to alternate crafts. You have to do a different craft each time in each module to get that 1 point of bonus. So for example, you can't just craft circuit boards over and over again and get this 1 point of bonus. You have to change between circuit boards and magnets like I do. So with that being said, if you want to level up crafting the fastest, you want to do the fastest 2 crafts in each module. The problem with this is it's usually very expensive and they don't always make money. For me, I try to find the fastest crafts that are still profitable. But for this video, we'll talk about both so you can make the decision for yourself. At the Workbench, the 2 fastest crafts are the broken LCDs and the printed circuit boards used in DVDs. The problem is the LCD craft, even though it's quick, it burns money like crazy. For me, I rotate between printed circuit boards and magnets because the components are easy to buy and the products are easy to sell. But power cords are another good craft to fit into here if you want to, and they're a little bit faster. They just need a few more components to get the craft done. Now with this, when you're not logged on, you don't want to do a short craft. You want to do a long craft to take account for that 8-hour crafting point bonus. So for me, I'm usually crafting ammo. It's either BP or M61, but do what you want to do. Just make sure it's like a 5 to 8 hour craft or longer, 10, 15 for some of the ammos for when you're not online between your logouts. And that way you'll get the most out of it. Over at the Lavatory, this one's kind of a little unique creature because there's one craft in here that's really fast, and it's the gas mask. So technically, the gas mask and army bandages are the 2 fastest crafts, but you don't want to do a gas mask and go into raid because a lot of times I'm in raid for 20, 30 minutes and that downtime is not getting me points. So keep that in mind on some of these shorter crafts, that if you have downtime while you're in raid on a craft, you're not getting skill points out of it. So I have 3 crafts I do. I go between army bandages, gas mask, and then I'll craft ripstop with the scav vests. Now, technically I could go back and forth with the army bandages and the gas mask, but it's a little fast and the scav vest craft puts a little bit more time. So look at your average craft time and pick things that work with that. If you're really fast at raids, sure, just do army bandages and gas masks. But if you're a little longer, scav vests, even the regular bandages with fleece work pretty good. For the long craft in the Lavatory, you want to do a Lucky Scav junk box or a mag case. I'll leave it to you. If you have Shooter Born in Heaven done and you can buy mag cases from Mechanic right now, it's great to do this Lucky Scav junk box. Otherwise, like me, I'm just using blue fuel cans that I burn in my generator and turning those into mag boxes and then selling those on the market. The Intel Center is a little bit different of an animal. The crafts in it are so long that you don't really have to be all that picky. You're getting more out of the craft for the 8 hours, each 1 point for 8 hours than you are the actual cycle time. But you still want to go back and forth. For me, I do Intel and thumb drives, but VPXs can be put into this too if you want to. Now, the nutrition unit's probably the one that sucks the most because it's got longer crafts. There's not much in there under an hour, and they don't really make money. The 2 fastest crafts in the nutrition unit are the lunchbox, the Urska lunchboxes, and the Kvass water, but neither of those make money. So you're just going to lose money. If you're okay with that, great. But if you want to make money, the 2 crafts that I've been focusing on have been slickers and sugar. Now, sugar kind of has a caveat on it. I've been filling up my scav cases full of sugar since the beginning of the wipe. I'm almost to 2 full scav cases of sugar that's crafted, and I'm just going to save that till it's worth over 55, 60 and sell it. So sugar doesn't necessarily make you money. You have to sit on it, but those are the 2 that I'm crafting right now are sugars and slickers. Now, the long craft here is hot rods, but they're not making money right now. If you don't care about that, it's great. This is an 8-hour craft. It's worth 2 skill points all by itself each time you do it because the craft is 8 hours and you finish it and you get that extra point. But expect to lose, between 30 and 40, maybe even 50,000 rubles with the craft each time you do it. The med station's pretty straightforward. The 2 fastest crafts here are AI2s and the Kalak hemostatic bandages, but those don't really make money. So for me, I've been focused on AI2s and pile of meds. I just cycle back and forth between those, and it's fast, it's easy, and it doesn't really lose you any money. And then for the long craft, here's the defib. But right now, with power banks being really expensive, the defib isn't that good of a craft. Again, it's better than not really doing anything. If you're after power leveling your hideout, it's what you're going to want to do, and you're just writing off that money you're spending to get that done. But as power banks get cheaper, this craft will get back to where it makes money or breaks even, basically. Now, I'm going to say straight up here, because I know the questions are going to come in. I don't know if the water collector, the Bitcoin farm, scav case, moonshine, if any of those count towards skill points. I believe they do, but this has gone back and forth over the last several wipes based on bugs and changes they've made and how much of an effect it has. But long story short, you should be doing these anyways. You should be crafting water, Bitcoins, moonshine, and running your scav case and getting that extra money that those provide, completely aside from, leveling up your hideout skills. Now, hideout management, the second skill, decreases how much fuel and filters get burned up over time. It decreases it by 0.5% per level, which it doesn't sound like a lot, but as it levels up, it can really get there. When you get max level and you got a 25% reduction, that's several hours on each fuel tank. That's just money in your pocket. You're burning less fuel than the next person. And then you also get more out of your filters. At base level, a water filter uses 66 units of 100 to make a purified water. As that levels up, it goes down to like 60 and then 55. And I think the lowest you get is about 50%, that it only uses up half of water filter to make a purified water. Now, on top of this, it increases the bonuses you get from your hideout by 1% per level. So you get at max level, you get 50% bonus increase on all of your things. And this applies, the big one here is Intel Center. At the Intel Center, you get your flea market commission reduction and how much money you get out of quests. Both of these get increased by this task. So not only is it cheaper for you to list stuff on the flea market on that commission, which is more money in your pocket, every quest you finish gives you just that little bit extra more money. And this became even a bigger deal when they added daily and weekly tasks, because it affects those as well. You get more money from those. But this also does apply to like the library, which I'm building right now. I don't have it quite done, but the bonuses you get out of the library, which is your additional raid experience and practical skill leveling, which is your hideout skills. And then the food and water bonuses and healing bonuses you get out of like your rest base and the nutrition unit and stuff, all of those get buffed up as well. The one it doesn't affect, though, is solar power. It used to, when they first added the skill, it affected this. It doesn't anymore. This 50% reduction stays at 50% regardless of your level. It was just too overpowered with how little fuel you used when you had max hideout skills. Now, hideout management levels a little bit differently than crafting, though crafting does affect it. The actual crafting process does affect it too. So first off, you get 8 skill points for each module you upgrade. So when you build your first level 1 workbench, or you go from med station 2 to 3, or you build your library, each of those upgrades gives you 8 skill points. You also get 0.4 points for each craft you do. And then you get 0.1 point for every 10 durability units you use in fuels or filters. So for example, a metal fuel can has 100 durability on it. That 100 durability is equal to 10 skill points in the hideout management screen as it burns through it. This applies to filters, water filters, and air filters as well, and the small blue cans, but you can do the math, 0.1 times whatever the durability is and that it uses up. Now, BSG and patches in the past, they've said they've patched it to where it doesn't affect that. I don't know how. It's really hard to test, but needless to say, that's what they say. So as you level up, it doesn't slow it down. So leveling up hideout management simply boils down to always leaving your hideout on, don't turn it off, and making sure your filters are stocked and your fuel is always stocked. But for these, don't get too wrapped up in the details. Don't get all wound up about crafting specific things. Just craft and just keep your hideout running, and these will level up on their own as you're not even paying attention to them. Max hideout management gives you 2 additional slots in your generator, your air filtering unit, and your water collector for the stuff you put in there. And then it gives you 2 additional units in the Bitcoin and what it can hold. So instead of maxing out at 3 and basically shutting off, you can go all the way to 5. That's almost a full day, even with the level, with 50 graphics cards and a level 3 Bitcoin farm. You can go a whole nother day without having to collect and worry about not, losing out on Bitcoins. So I hope this cleared it up for you, and you know how to level up your hideout skills, and you know what it takes, and you're able to do it. If you got something out of this, make sure you hit that like button. Helps out the channel a bunch. If you're not subscribed, please do so. You'll see these videos much quicker as they pop up, and you won't be late to the show, because I can guarantee this video is probably going to ruin some of these items that people buy, because everybody's going to start buying them and trying to level up their hideout skills. Kind of sorry for that, kind of not, just kind of how it works making YouTube videos. But regardless, I wish you the best of luck in your raids, and we'll see you in Tarkov.